Reggie here, and I'm with Mr. Comics 89, and we both have full runs of Amazing Spider-Man, and I want you to enjoy this video.
Hey everyone, Mr. Comics 89 here. Welcome to my 2022 Top 50 Comic Books. This has been a very fun year. A lot of fun books. It tends to vary, honestly. One year I had 25, another year I had 50. It just depends on how many books I get, honestly. This year, half the books were really cool books, and the other half were like cover books that I just liked, or small minor keys that I felt were just important enough to make a note of it. But I had like a total of like 70 books that were on the list. I had to whittle it down. So I had honorable mentions like Thor 158, Thor 137, Batman 211, Icon #1, Batman 500 that was signed by the inker, I believe, Daredevil 182, a 1 in 50 Dark Ages cover of Spider-Man, which is very, very cool. Even an ASM that was it was a Steve Ditko kind of cover, 1 in 50 kind of thing. It was one of those things that's just cool to have, but just didn't make the list. So, one of the things I mentioned too is, other than the top 14, 15, 16 books, the rest of the books you could basically throw in a bag, shuffle it, and you could come out with any different order, and those books would easily fall in that order. But the top 15 or so are books that just are more solidified in what they are. So before we start, I would like to show this honorable mention here. CGC 9.8 of the Guide to Comic Book Collecting, #1, the first one, signed by Reggie and Doug. The reason why I want to make an honorable mention is, as far as I know, and I need to look up the census or whatever, there's only like 25 of these books double signed by Reggie and Doug. More may have been so now, I don't know, but at the time it was only 1 of 25, and I bought it from Reggie, and it's just very cool to have. So that's the honorable mention. So let's get started here, shall we? All 50 books. All right. Number 50 here. We have Green Lantern #39. It's a Prelude to the Blackest Night cover. It's just a very, very cool Larfleeze cover. I mean, this book is just cool. The way it looks, Larfleeze hugging that mine. It's so cool. This, Jeff Johns story. I love Jeff Johns' Green Lantern. I want more Jeff Johns books for Green Lantern. Just love anything Jeff Johns touches. Pretty much is great for me. All right, moving on to number 49, ASM #28. This is a cool Spider-Man Mysterio storyline. Spider-Man thinks he's going crazy. It just works. It just looks really, really cool. This cycle. This was like one of the last books I needed to get my full run of ASM when I was down to like 20 or 30 books. This is one of them, and just ticking away. Number 48, ASM #23. I think third appearance of the Green Goblin, maybe fourth. I can't quite remember. Again, just another very early ASM book. Not only sub 100, but sub 30. This is very, very cool. This is Steve Ditko. These are Steve Ditko books and Stan Lee, so it's just very, 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 very cool to see these books. Number 47, ASM #69. Got this from my friend Southern Comic Geek. Very, very cool Spider-Man Kingpin cover. I love this one enough that I actually did a painting of it. It hangs on my office over here. Just a very, very cool painting. I love to join painting. Spider-Man has become a favorite subject. Wonder why. Just very, very cool. Number 46. A little bit of FOMO, you could say, but I wanted it because I do feel this character is important. Miss Marvel #1, 4th printing. I don't know why I got the 4th print necessarily, other than it was the best deal because I didn't want to overspend, but I wanted this book. And I kind of felt, I think on some level, it went with my Edge of Spider-Verse number 2, the Gwen Stacy, first appearance of Gwen Stacy as Spider-Girl. And that one was a 4th print. So I thought they kind of worked together as 4th prints, you know, symmetry there. I love just the whole, her face half shown, the purple there. It just worked better than the red too. But I like it a lot. Number 45. This is Spectacular Spider-Man number 90. It's an AOK from a friend. I can't remember who sent it. I apologize. I wrote it on the back of the board of the comic, so I made sure I know who got it for me. This is one of those tied appearances for Black Suit of Spider-Man. Although, if I remember correctly, this is only on the cover. You can see there that little half regular suit, half black suit thing. I think it's only that. This is one of the books I had on my wish list for 2022, and I gifted an AOK. I love the book. Not the highest condition book, but not looking for a high condition book. Alright. Number 44. ASM number 91. This, I do believe, was one of the 8 or 6 books I needed to complete my ASM run. This actually might have been a gift from my wife. My wife bought 4 of my last 5 books I needed. A slightly busy cover, but I do enjoy it. I'm looking at some of the pictures here so I can kind of better describe what I'm talking about. I love the book. Love my ASM. Number 43. ASM number 583. This is a second print of the Obama cover. I love President Obama. I felt he did a great job as president. I'm not here to talk politics with anyone, but I wanted all 5 of his covers. This one here I actually bought. It was double signed by Zeb Wells, the current writer of ASM, and Chuck Todd, I believe he was the writer for the Spider-Man story. I can't see 100% the picture here, but I sent it off to be graded. Came back at 8.5 CBCS because it was signed before. Hoping for a 9, but I like the book. It's a really cool book, and I'm happy to have it. Number 42, ASM Annual number 21. This is the variant cover, the first variant cover that Marvel published, I believe, or at least Spider-Man related did. It is the Spider Suit variant cover with the villains battle in the background. I prefer this cover, actually. I mean, as cool as the Peter Parker in his tuxedo with Mary Jane and his side, her side, the idea of villains going at each other was just very, very cool. I liked it a lot. You know, I've often thought about trying to even paint this cover itself, but to attempt to do this painting, I'd have to have a much bigger canvas because I would want to get those details right. Moving on to number 41, Devil Dinosaur issue number 1. This is one of those books I just couldn't get out of my head. It's one of those, might not be a major book, huge book, but with Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, I had a wanting to get Devil Dinosaur number 1, his first appearance kind of thing. Not to mention this, look at that cool dinosaur cover. Seriously, it's awesome. And I just had to have it. It's just cool looking. I liked it. Alright, moving on. What If number 7. I like these What If storylines. It goes back to my love of Harry Potter and the fan fiction books, stories I would read in between books being published when I was growing up. I particularly like this one because it's what if someone else got bitten by the radioactive spider. You know, Flash, Betty, and Captain Jameson. just fun to see that because Spider-Man had brains as well as the power, he was able to do things to be successful. But without Peter Parker, 2 of these 3 heroes died, and the other one quit. And Peter would still end up being Spider-Man because he would lab test and create the formula, yada yada, and create Spider-Man in their honor, kind of a thing. But it's just a very, very cool story. I had to have this. One. All right, where was I at the list? Excuse me, I apologize. Number 39. She-Hulk #1. This is the Volume 2, the Dan Slott run. You can't tell me that's not a cool cover. She-Hulk peeking out of a, kind of homaging Lady Justice being blind, but she's peeking. She's holding the scales. She's green. That sword. Just very, very cool. Dan Slott might suck writing ASM, or at least, he's done a decent job writing the adjectiveless Spider-Man. And I liked him on Fantastic Four, and I liked him here on She-Hulk. Dan Slott's a good writer. He just needs to have that right subject, you know what I mean? And with this one, I felt he did a good job. Number 38. Spectacular Spider-Man #98. This would be the cameo appearance of a villain called Spot. Kingpin, Spider-Man, Black Cat cover. Definitely a cool cover, but not as cool as number 37, Spectacular Spider-Man #99, the first full appearance of the Spot. Now, I look forward to seeing the Spot on the Into the Spider-Verse movie. He's supposed to be the main villain. Honestly, I can't think of a better villain, particularly for the Spider-Verse movie. A guy who can create portals and all that. You can see how he'd be a threat to multiple Spider-Man. And I think that the graphics for him would work really well with the graphics for the movie. It just works, that slightly rougher look that made Into the Spider-Verse so successful. I think the Spot would just be brilliant. I can't wait to see it. Number 36, X-Men #145. I picked up several X-Men keys while at Comic-Con this year. This is the Storm and Doctor Doom cover. I look forward to I like this book a lot. I look forward to Doctor Doom appearing at some point in the MCU. This is just one I bought. This is a book I bought just for the cover. A lot of X-Men books are hard to read for me, at least the older stuff. It seems like I like the Krakoa modern era stuff, but older Chris Claremont stuff, I like the books, I like the stories, but not all of them are my favorites. It's interesting. Number 35, X-Men #168. This is the Kitty Pryde cover, going up against the wall like that. I love the artwork, love the cover. And another mostly cover by, I don't think it was any significant other than that, but again, I'm not the X-Men aficionado. You'd have to ask someone else and all that. So, number 34, X-Men 123. This is the famous Storm's nipple cover. Modern artwork kind of thing, updated detail. You could see a clearly Storm coming out of the shower kind of thing, a exposed nipple, whereas the artwork in this comic here, you couldn't see it very well. Although I swore I could see it with just a hint of a more solid surface, in that general area. But I bought this one just because I love the cover, and I had to have that controversial portion about the comic. It's one of those things that's cool. Maybe it's being a guy, I don't know, but I just had to have it. Number 33. Again, one of the last 5 books I needed to complete my ASM run. This is ASM 102, second appearance of Morbius. And frankly, the better cover in my opinion. I like the whole, it's cool Morbius being his up front and there he is. But I like 6-armed Spider-Man being on the cover here. And that box look. It just works. I like it a lot. And I'm gonna get a drink real quick. Hold on, guys. Anyway, love the book, love the cover. Glad to have it. My wife is the best for getting me my books I needed. All right, ASM number 569, CGC 9.4 is number 32 on the list here. You can actually see it right over my shoulder. Variant cover, but is that not a cool variant cover? Just him, his Venom's teeth and tongue, and it's just cool. I just love it a lot. It's a very, very cool, sick cover. And again, one of the last books. Every ASM book on this list was basically every ASM book that I bought remaining on the list wound up on the list for this year. And so it was just a matter of whittling it down to which books were most important. That book being what it is, or being the cool cover it is the reason why it made it over several others. Number 31, X-Men Annual number 14. The first chronological appearance of Gambit. Whether or not you believe it's his cameo or his first full appearance, I'm happy to have it. It's currently being graded, so this is a stock image. All the books that are currently being graded will just be stock images, unfortunately. But love it, glad to have it, can't wait to have it back. Yep. Number 30 on the list here, Invincible Iron Man, issue number 7. This is the cameo appearance of Riri Williams. Mary Jane, Iron Man on the cover. And frankly, Mary Jane looks like she was hit in the face a couple of times with a frying pan. She looks beat up. So that very reason, it's not my favorite of the two books coming up here. But I loved Riri Williams in Wakanda Forever. I look forward to her appearances in the MCU. We need an Iron Man character, and she fits the bill perfectly, I find. I can't wait to see her. Can't wait to see her in more stuff. Number 29, Web of Spider-Man. Number 70, this is the first appearance of Spider-Hulk. I love the whole ripping out of the suit, the position, the cover. This is just a very cool. I spent probably a little bit more than I should have on this book, but when it came up on Whatnot, I couldn't let it get away because it was one of those books I really wanted, and so I just had to reach out and take it. Sorry about that. I had an alarm up here. I got a show that I usually like to watch on Saturdays, and it went off. Number 28, Invincible Iron Man, issue number 9. This is a much cooler cover that I have. I'm much preferred. It's got a little bit of wear on the spine. Again, this is going to be a stock image because it's currently being graded. I don't expect a high grade. Really only around the 7s. But I do feel Riri is going to be important, and I wanted to get this book more than the cameo off to get graded. It just was more important to me. I just look at that, just that darkness, the mechanical in the background, the darkness of the suit, electricity sparkling. This is just awesome to look at. I mean, this is awesome to look at. Number 27. ASM number 1 from volume 6, the current run by Zeb Wells. This is the J. Scott Campbell cover that I purchased. I love J. Scott Campbell. I will buy J. Scott Campbell covers any day of the week and twice on Sundays. This is the regular Spider-Man cover. I liked his other covers with Miles Morales and Gwen Stacy. But buying them from his website, they are expensive. And you know what? I'll get them later if it really matters. Someone's got to be selling these signed books, right? But until then, I settled for this book, and it makes a lovely addition to my signed book collection. Love it, love it, love it. Number 26, Batman and Spider-Man issue number 1. This is the Kingpin Ra's al Ghul villains book. I prefer it over the Carnage Joker story. Me, I just like the idea of Ra's al Ghul and Kingpin. They just work better as more mastermind villains rather than pure chaos and bloodshed that Joker and Carnage do. I guess I like more of a story versus pure bloodshed. Maybe that's the reason why I never got into horror comics or horror movies. Is it needs to be the right kind of movie or story for me to be yay for blood's sake kind of a thing. Number 25 here, so halfway through the list. Number 25, Champions number 1, CGC 9.6. I originally read this story with a variant cover, and I absolutely love it. I mean, this story here, I've always been empathetic in a way where I supports climate change. I hate people. I hate racism. I hate sexism. I hate people not trying hard enough to save the world that we live in, kind of a thing. And these kids, younger kids, with the whole not satisfied with the way adults are doing things and wanting to take things in their own hands, this story spoke to me. And so I had to have this cover in a high grade, 9.8 preferably, but I found a good grade for a good price for a 9.6, and it's close enough. It's not an overpriced, valuable book. You know, it's not going to be that way unless the Champions actually appear in the MCU. But I look forward to it, and I just love this cover here. Love Miles, love Riri, love all these different characters that make an appearance. Number 24, X-Men number 164. First appearance of Binary. The cover says it all. Wickedly cool cover. Got it at a con for a decent price. X-Men book. Important. Love Carol Danvers. Love this book. Plain and simple. Love this book. Very cool. Number 23, ASM Annual number 16. In a CGC 9.0, this is the first appearance of Monaco Rambeau. Either she, I can't remember again. I forgot to take a picture of this one. She's either the first appearance of Monica Rambeau as Captain Marvel, or as it's not Binary, Phantom, Plasma. I apologize, but I wanted this book. I needed my ASM annuals. I needed my ASM annuals too, because I want a complete collection of ASM annuals. And I wanted to get this book before she makes her appearance in Marvels, because the price would only go up right then. So, hey hun, how's it going? So is that my Christmas present? My wife's in the background teasing me. So Mrs. Comics is here. So, all right, number 22. Batman number 428. This is a newsstand edition, The Death of Robin. Got this at Salida Comic-Con. My wife's sister's name is Robin, and so she's looking all fake horrified in the background. She loves her sister. Oh, that's gonna make. I'm leaving that in. I love you, hon. Yeah, my sister-in-law's name is Robin. Anyway, Death of Jason Todd, Robin. Love the story. I love the story. I had to have this one. I came across it. It was like $100 or whatever, but I got it. Very cool book. And just love it. All right, number 21. Excuse me. What If number 1? What If Spider-Man joined the Fantastic Four? Again, I love what ifs, because of the whole alternate universe thing, different idea. I love that idea of just looking into different things. That's why I like fan fiction books, stories. It doesn't diminish, like the Harry Potter books. Fan fiction based on Harry Potter doesn't diminish what these characters wrote or what the author wrote. Doesn't diminish these books. it just gives me an alternate view of their world, right? You know, so if there was fan fiction for Spider-Man and Mary Jane, you know, the Renew Your Vows storyline, if that storyline had continued, it doesn't diminish the regular Spider-Man storyline. It just gives us a universe where they're married and stay married. So that's why I like it so much. Anyway, had to have this book. Found it for a decent price at in the wild. All right, number 20. Got Isolation number 1, 9.8 CGC. Love Isolation, the 2 books that are out. Reggie, Delia, and Doug have done a brilliant job putting this story together. I didn't opt for the signature for these books. I just wanted the 9.8 graded. Maybe one of these days here, I'll look on eBay and see if eBay are selling that, or who knows, I'll send in my raw 9.8, because I bought like 2 covers of this book. I'll send in my raw, you know, asking, hey Reggie, would you sign this book? Kind of a thing. You know, but I love Isolation. I look forward to seeing where it goes. And I love supporting a great member of the community. Alright. Number 19, Venom Lethal Protector, issue number 1. Currently being graded now. Signed by Sam De La Rosa. Love Venom. Don't know why I got rid of this book in the past. It was a 9.4. Maybe that's the reason why it wasn't high enough in my opinion, but I wanted it back later on. The book being graded, I'm hoping for a high grade, but I don't think it's going to be a 9.8. It might even end up being a 9.0, 9.2, which would kind of suck, but at the same time, it's signed by Sam De La Rosa. I'll keep the book anyway, just because. Great cover and cool story. Number 18, Hulk number 16. First appearance of the Red She-Hulk. Just look at that cool cover. I mean, that hits all the cool bad girl vibes that you know guys have. You know, that just look at how cool and, for lack of a better word, sexy she looks. Just damn, I love that cover. Found it at a con for cheap. Had to grab it. Love the book. Love the red. Just love the white. Love the red. Love the black. It just all works together. Alright, number 17. Ultimate Comics All New Spider-Man number 2. This is the first appearance of Genki. Not a bad cover. Not as the best of those early Miles Morales covers, but it's very cool. And third appearance of Miles Morales Spider-Man, so I enjoy Miles. He's a very interesting character. Love his history, love his story, and I look forward to completing my run of Miles Morales in the future here. Alright, number 16. Like I said, this is where it starts to be, these books deserve to be in this order. You know, because that's what I did. I started obviously starting at 1 and kept on adding books on the list, you know, periodically, because I felt that's what I deserved. So number 16, this is Batman Beyond, Return of the Joker, issue number 1. One shot based upon the movie. This is a must-have book for anybody who's a Batman Beyond Terry McGinnis fan. I mean, I love Terry McGinnis. He's my favorite Batman. It's a cool cover. I would love to have the voice actor who plays Terry McGinnis, Will Friedle, you know, Eric from Boy Meets World. Hell, I'd love to have Mark Hamill on this book too, sign this book too, because he voiced the Joker. Just love Mark Hamill as the Joker for the voice. Anyway, love this book. Had to have it. I think it cost me about $50, honestly, because it was worth it for that, at least for me. All right, number 15, Spider-Man vs. Wolverine, issue number 1. Death of Ned Leeds. It's a very cool cover. I have yet to read the story, but I know what happens, and I look forward to reading it in the future here. But if not, it's one of those it's not in the ASM run, but it's one of those Spider-Man books every Spider-Man fan should have. I mean, if you don't have certain ASM books, you can't call yourself a Spider-Man fan, honestly. You know, all jokes to the point. Love the book. Great cover. All right. Number 14, ASM 583. This is an Obama first print cover. This is actually the last one I needed of the 5 covers. It was also being graded right now. Hoping for a high grade, but if not, it is what it is, and I had to have the book because, like I said, I liked the good job President Obama did. Number 13, Savage She-Hulk, issue number 1, CBCS 9.0. This book didn't cost me a penny. In a way, I traded 2 keys of Adam Warlock, his first appearance and his second appearance. Yeah, it was him. They're Thor books. I may have even traded the first cameo of the Fantastic Four too. I might have over-traded, but I wanted this particular book. This is the last Stan Lee story written, I believe, the last created character. And I love She-Hulk. I felt she's way more important than Adam Warlock. And it was just very easy to have this, just very easy trade for me. Glad to have it in the collection. And a good grade. And if I'm not mistaken, it's not up there anymore. It's somewhere over there. Excuse me. It's also a newsstand, I believe. All right. Number 12, Captain America, number 6. First appearance of the Winter Soldier. This is a cool cover. I mean, I love history. I'm a student of history. The World War II fighter plane, the Nazi flags hanging behind Captain America. Captain America with the shield, facing forward, screaming like "forward" kind of thing. Just the reds and the cool. Just this cover is awesome. I'm really hoping for a 9.8 in this book. I really think I can get it. At least a 9.6, 9.4. This is a great book, and I cannot wait to get it back from the graders. Alright. Number 11, Black Panther, number 5, 9.0 CBCS. This is the first Shuri as the Black Panther. The issue number 1 of this volume was her on the cover as Black Panther. This is her first appearance, I believe, in story as Black Panther. Had to have this book before Wakanda Forever came out. I felt Shuri did a great job. And it almost went exactly how I felt. Shuri would use her brains and recreate the formula. Although not quite how I thought it was. I was imagining something along the lines of taking the Captain America formula from Steve's blood and recreating a super soldier serum, and then basically giving it to a Black Panther and all that, because for all intents and purposes, Black Panther and Captain America seem to have the same physical power set, and it just worked in my thinking. But I liked how they did it in the movie. Alright, now we're in the top 10. X-Men number 221, first appearance of Mr. Sinister. My favorite X-Men book I picked up this year from Con. Great front page, splash page cover. I just enjoy it. I don't want a full run of X-Men books, but there are keys I want. This was one of them. Alright, number 9, Nova number 1. I think it's the first appearance of Richard Rider as Nova, but I'm not 100% sure. I got this book from Shop for Comics in his mystery box that he did this year. I got 2 boxes from him, two different times. One box within, one box, and another box later. I got this out of the second box. This was the top prize that I wanted from his mystery box. You know, I had a list of like 3 or 4 books I really wanted, and this is the top book I wanted. Sorry. And I was really happy to have it. So, Pretty good book. Pretty cool book. All right. ASM number 13 from volume 6 in a CGC 9.8. You can show it off right here in person before this appears on the screen. Not a valuable book per se, but this book made it so high on the list because of one reason. In this book here is my first published fan letter to Marvel, to the Spider Office. Just really cool to see your name in print inside my Amazing Spider-Man comic book. My favorite character. It just meant a lot to see it there. My very first one. I had to have it graded at a 9.8. I'm currently trying to get JR and Zeb Wells, see if I can track them down to get them to sign another copy to have it to be graded. Because I already got Scott Hanna's signature on a book. I think it'd be really cool to have all three guys sign a book and have that graded as well. I have like 7 issues of that book. So I just keep on picking them up here or there. But no matter what happens in the future, whether I stop collecting tomorrow or I pass on, whatever happens, my name will always be a part of Spider-Man now. Even if the books disappear, my name was in the comics. So it meant a lot to me in ways I can't quite describe, and I just cannot wait to keep collecting and just feel so proud. So if you have that book, check it out, Mr. Comics 89. I'm listed in there, my cover, my letter. Love it, love it, love it. Number 7, Ultimate Comics All New Spider-Man number 1. This is my direct cover, currently being graded. Again, second appearance of Miles Morales. Love him shooting the web out at us, coming there. Just love the cover. I felt it was a great job. Mr. Andrews did a great job. Just getting really happy to have this book. Really happy. Love Miles. Can't wait to continue collecting him. Number 6, Incredible Hulk 340. Todd McFarlane cover of Wolverine with his claws out and Hulk shining off of him, or in the reflection of the blades. This was a pure cover buy, but the best book I got from Con this year. I felt was very important to have this book. Honestly, it was very important to have this book. To me, the story inside it sucked to me when I read it, but I love it. It's gonna be a mid-grade when it comes back, but I love it. It's just a cool book to have. Very cool to have Todd McFarlane artwork. He's a great artist. Number 5, Wolverine number 1, the first solo series of Wolverine, his first cameo appearance of Yukoyo, I guess his fiance. I think it's my favorite Wolverine cover, honestly. That I have in my, definitely my favorite Wolverine cover in my collection. Might change my mind if I ever get my hands on a Hulk 181. But, a real one, because I have the facsimile. But this one's signed by Joe Rubenstein. That I have. It might not show it here, but actually it will show it here because I have it in my hands. Very, very cool. I met Joe Rubenstein this summer here. He signed a couple of my books. This one I bought off of Whatnot, already signed. Probably paid more than I should have, but I couldn't let this one out of my hands. I've been passing up on this book once or twice and missing out on it. And to come across one in the wild, whatever you call it, Whatnot, I could not let this one signed go. And I love it. Just need to get a grade at one time. But I just love this, the claws out and the whole. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right. What If 105 from Volume 2. This is first appearance of Mayday Parker, Spider-Girl from Earth 982. I'm a big fan of The Wedding. I'm a big fan of The Wedding and Spider-Girl. I love Mayday. This is awesome. Currently being graded. Very important. I think Spider-Man and Mary Jane should be married. Should have stayed married. And I honestly think that they should have had a kid. You know, that kid doesn't have to grow up. Excuse me, I apologize. Kid doesn't have to grow up. You know, but I do think the greatest responsibility is having a wife and a family. You know, wife and kids. And Spider-Man's all about responsibility, so why don't you give him the ultimate responsibility? Anyway, I just love it. Cool cover. I've done 2 paintings based on this cover. It just works out really well. I love it. I love it. All right. Number 3, Ultimate Comics. Ultimate Fallout, should I say? My bad. Ultimate Fallout number 4. Second print. This is the first appearance of Miles Morales. And frankly, this is my favorite cover. I like his face being exposed. Now, I came across this book in the wild at Mile High Comics before the video game happened and this book blew up. You know, back when you could buy this book for $20 a day. I was busy neck deep in collecting ASM at the time. I still had like 400, 500 ASM books to collect to get a full run. And so I was all in the mindset of ASM, 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 ASM. You know, and so I skipped up on this book. I think it was at least $20, if not no more than 50 at the time. You know, Mile High Comics being expensive. I regretted it once the book blew up and I got into Miles. But I came across this one for a good price, I think, on eBay. And I bought it. It was important to me that I passed up on a second print of this book, that I had to get a second print in my collection. Now, that's not to say that one of these days I won't get a first print of Miles Morales, Ultimate Fallout number 4. But it was important to me, on some weird level, it was important to me that the very first time I got this book, it was this cover that I missed out on, you know, those years ago. And like I said, plus I just think it just works so much better with his face being exposed. Don't know why, it just does to me. Alright. Number 2 on this list. Now, if it wasn't for the fact that my last book here was the book that it is to complete my ASM run, for all intents and purposes, this book number 2 on this list is the biggest book that I got this year. The absolutely biggest book that I got this year. You know, it's actually a book I thought I would never really get my hands on. Or if I did, it would be 5 years from now and bleeding through the nose to pay for it. It is a missing the front cover, giant size X-Men number 1. First appearance of Colossus, Nightcrawler, Storm, Thunderbird, third appearance of Wolverine. This book, in the condition it is in, is still worth almost $1,000, I think. It was well worth the price. It was a decent price. I have a coverless ASM 1, coverless ASM 9, coverless ASM Annual number 1, coverless Silver Surfer 1 and 4. I'm a believer of low grade versus no grade, so I found a good book for a good price, and that splash cover here is a good appearance. If I remember correctly, I need to show you guys both what my book actually looks like and what the book looks like normally. But I have Giant Size X-Men number 1. Super excited. One of these days when I win the lottery and get $1 billion, I can upgrade all my books to desired grades. But until then, I love my collection. Cheap and affordable. At least for me. And the price is only going up on these books. Love it. Alright, so number 1 here. The top book for 2022. And that's because it was the last book I needed to complete my ASM run. This is Amazing Spider-Man 654. The first appearance of Flash as Venom, or Agent Venom. Very, very cool cover. CGC 9.0, 9.8, not 9.8. Cool Scorpion Spider-Man cover. Just very, very cool. I love it. I got this book from actually somebody who's seen on eBay, but somebody who's actually seen my videos. So if you're out there and you sold me this book, comment down below. I want to thank you again, I want to thank you again for the great book that you got, that you sold me to complete my run. It's just so awesome to have this book in my collection here. You know, just very, very cool. It's the last book I needed. This is so awesome, you know. And I figured it was the last book I needed. Why settle for a raw book? Or why settle for a 9.0? I paid a little bit extra for this book to get it in that 9.8. Because it was just worth it to have that last book I needed to be a CGC 9.8. Anyway, those are the top comics for 2050 for 2022. Comment down below, what do you guys think? What was your favorite book or books from the collection here? You know, was it the mini ASM books I had? Was it the Spider-Man keys I had? Was it Giant Size X-Men #1? And should I have had that as #1 rather than #2? Again, the only reason it lost out to #1 was because that last book was the last book I needed to complete my ASM run. And I've pulled that goal higher than the goal of achieving Giant Size X-Men. But like this video, comment down below, and sub me up. I am currently running 750 subscriber contest where I'm giving away a lot of ASM related books. Spider-Man, Spider-Girl, One Spectacular Spider-Man, even for those of you who are interested in it, a Venom Carnage Funko Soda. So comment down below, sub me up, help me get a 750 subscriber contest, because the sooner I get up to 750 subscribers, the sooner we can get up to 1,000 subscribers. And this prize awaits you for a 1,000 subscriber contest giveaway. You want a free FF49? Sub me up. All right, take care, everyone. Thank you for watching the video. I'll see you guys next time, next year for the top whatever number of 2023. Take care, everyone. Happy collecting, and I'll see you guys next time. Talk to you later.